What's going on, everyone? It's your main man Jay with Pump Priority. Thank you for tuning in to the newest episode. This episode is very important. I did a poll the other day on Instagram, and people overwhelmingly, except for the trolls, requested that I do this video because I've recently experienced some awesome weight loss. So, let's see, April 8th. 2018, I was 225 pounds. Today is May 15, and right now I'm about 211 pounds. Now, I lost 10 pounds on exactly the 1 month mark. So, I told people or asked people, would you like to see a video where I'm explaining and detailing exactly what I did? Because I experienced this, right? And this is not one of those gimmicks or anything like that. I'm not telling you to buy anything. What you're gonna find is that I'm giving you my experience and what's worked for me. So before we get into it, guys, you have to remember and take note of the fact that what works for me may not work for you. Now, principally, what I'm going to tell you are things that will benefit you. They're things that will allow you to experience weight loss clinically. Or, did I say clinically? Principally is what I meant. But we have to understand and be realistic that my body is different from your body. And what may work for me may not work for you in the same capacity. So those are just some things to take note of. But I want you to take heart because the things that I'm going to tell you, they're going to help build discipline and you will see results. That's a fact. It's pretty much like 1 + 1 will always be 2. One thing that I've always said is that if you eat right, if you work out and you're in a caloric deficit, your body will submit and you will lose weight. Okay, so to start off, guys, we're going to break this down into food, we're going to break it down into workout, and we're going to break it down into mindset. Okay, so let's start with the food. My philosophy that I use with what I ate and how I ate was intermittent fasting. And I looked at intermittent fasting as more of a discipline. I've heard of intermittent fasting for years. One of my best friends, Jamie, he used to do intermittent fasting while we're at Andrew University in Michigan. And, he saw awesome results. Now, I was skeptical about it, and it's not that I didn't think it worked. It's just that, do I really want to fast? I love food. I'm one of those people that if I'm hungry at night, I'll just have some cereal. Right when I'm hungry, I eat. If I'm bored, I eat. So intermittent fasting was one thing that, I just really wasn't ready to take part in. It was more like traditional diet, cut carbs, you know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where I knew that it worked and I've heard great things about it. But I just wasn't mentally ready in that space to take part in it. So long story short, I was doing physio and my physiotherapist, he mentioned it and he said, you know what, give it a try. So that's exactly what I did. And the reason why I'll break this down is because my physiotherapist, he actually has a gym in his practice and he put me through like a CrossFit type of workout. And my cardio was so horrible and it really woke me up to the fact that I'm carrying too much weight. I'm not eating well. And, I'm not getting any younger, guys. So it kind of woke me up to the fact that I got to do something. So first off, guys, this is what I did with my eating. Intermittent fasting means that basically you're eating all of your calories in a short window. That window, obviously, it varies. I recommend those of you who are going to start, you keep the window realistic. Okay. So, for example, what I did, I didn't eat let me say it this way. I ate in between the time 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. And in that time, I would eat all of my calories. Now, one thing I recommend you guys doing, if I have my phone here, it's over there. One thing I recommend doing is on your phone, get an app, like a weight loss app, a calorie counter app, one or whatever app that allows you to count your calories. So you can actually see and be accountable for what you're putting in your body. This is very important. One thing that I wish I could do if I did it again, and I'm still going to do it, is get a scale. Okay, now I'm not going to go into the technicalities of, okay, you got to eat 200 grams of protein, 150 carb. I'm not saying any of that. But what I liked about intermittent fasting is that as long as you're eating within your caloric budget, as long as you're in that deficit, you're going to lose weight. So there are times when I had like a cheeseburger, fries, a huge milkshake, Oreo milkshake. And there's another time I had like 30 wings. And the next day I woke up and I lost weight. It was crazy to me. It was groundbreaking to me. So in between 1 and 9 is how I started off, meaning that when you wake up in the morning, you don't have breakfast. You kind of eat a little after lunch, and that's when you have your first meal. There have been times when I haven't been able to really stay true to that 1 to 9 period. You know, if you're at work and you're stuck and you can't get that other meal in, once 9 o'clock hits, it doesn't matter. You're not eating anymore. That's just how I did it. Now, obviously, for those who have, blood sugar issues, if diabetes, whatever the case may be, obviously this philosophy changes and you can use it to just take the principles from it. And I don't want to give you, obviously, I'm not a medical doctor, so just be cautious and do your research, right? But this is just what worked for me. I started off eating whatever, as long as it hit the number of calories that I needed. And another point is, on some of those apps, the app that I'm using is called Lose It. They allow you to put your weight in, put your target weight in, your goal, and then they tell you, okay, if you eat this many calories, X amount of calories a day, then by this time you should hit your goal. Okay, so the number that I got, I was 225 and I want to hit 205, and they said that I'll hit that if I eat 2,300 calories plus or minus by August or early September. So I said, okay. So what I did, obviously, everything that you eat, those apps will have a database, and you pretty much just scan the food or digitally or manually, I should say, input it. And then you pay attention to that. Make sure you don't go over. Some days you may go over, some days you may go under. And for me, most days I went under my budget. If you're able to do it and you want to see quicker results, make sure you stay under your budget. Sometimes I've actually stayed like 1,000 calories under my budget. I don't recommend it for everybody, but I do work shift work, and sometimes my schedule and the nature of my job, I don't always get to eat how I want to eat. So that's one thing to consider. The second thing is this: as I progress through my fasting, I started eating cleaner foods. Yes, I do like the flexibility, and it's always good to treat yourself for your mental health instead of just eating rice and chicken. But I started using cleaner foods, such as I use Uncle Ben's rice, the ones that you microwave, and that's not really cost effective. So if you can make your own rice, do that. I'm going to start doing that. But the Uncle Ben's rice, I'd have like 250 grams in there. So 250 grams of white rice. I'd have like a cup and a bit, maybe a cup and 1/8 of ground turkey or lean ground beef. And then I have vegetables. I don't count my vegetables as macros, so I don't input my vegetables. I eat as many vegetables as I want, and I recommend you do that. And that was kind of the core of what I ate. Ate a lot of fruits. The fruits I do count. Vegetables I don't, because fruits do have a bit more sugar. So as long as you stay within the window, and then as time progresses, you'll be able to shorten that window. So I went from eating at 1 o'clock to 9 o'clock, like 2 big meals, to eating 3 o'clock to like 8 o'clock. And then just do what you can, right? If you can push yourself, push yourself. And for me, this was groundbreaking, really, and really a learning curve for me, because I love to eat when I'm bored, like I'm gaming, whatever the case may be, guys. Like I love food. I love to eat. And that's the thing that if we leave unfettered and unchecked, we will gain weight, because we're not paying attention to the caloric deficit. Okay. So another thing, guys, some supplements that I used. I'm not really one for protein powder. Okay, I'll be honest with you. If you can eat your protein in real foods, do that. But I'm trying to get more protein in my diet, so I do use that. It's only like 0 grams of fat, 120 calories per scoop, 1 gram of sugar, 27 grams of protein, and 3 grams of carbs. So it's a really good supplement, but let's keep it as a supplement. I use vitamin D. Okay, so I use that as a supplement. I would buy 1-a-day gummies. I would do that. I'm not saying this is going to go towards your success, but this is exactly what I did. And then about halfway through my intermittent fasting, I got these caffeine pills. Okay, 200 milligrams of caffeine. So use this. You don't have to use this. It's just something I just wanted to try out. Another thing, while you are in your fasting phase, you can eat. You can't eat, but you can drink water, of course, and coffee. Some of you may not drink coffee. That's fine. Just keep it to water. But you can drink water or coffee. You don't want to chew gum because you don't want your insulin to shoot up. You don't want that to happen. You want to stay away from gum. The only thing you want to drink is water or coffee. Okay, so let's get that down. I think that covers the food portion. Oh yes, and drink a lot of water, a lot of vegetables, and you'll be good. Now, in terms of training, my training changed because traditionally, I would do conventional bodybuilding. That's just ever since I got into lifting weights, I would always do bodybuilding, dumbbell, bench press, squat. That changed for me because I wanted to do workouts that really helped my cardio, helped strengthen my lungs, kept me at a high heart rate, not just going around lifting weights, talking to people, checking your phone. You want to be in the zone when you're training. So for cardio, what I would do is this. I do 20 minutes steady state max incline, speed about 2.5 on the treadmill, about 20 minutes of that. Do not hold on to the rails because that does decrease the efficiency. Or I would go on the bike, ride casually for 5 minutes, and then what I'd do, I'd max out the speed. So yeah, I'd max out the speed or the resistance, and I'd chug along for 30 seconds as fast and as hard as I can. And then I put it back down to a casual pace. Let's go again for a minute. And after a minute, rack up the resistance and go for 30 seconds. Then bring it back down, casual, ride for a minute, and keep on doing that. Maybe start off with about 5 rounds of that. And after about 10, 12 minutes, you're done your cardio. So sometimes I do both the steady state and the high intensity. And other days I just do the high intensity before my workout, and then I end off on the slow steady state. So my workouts, obviously, I'm not worried too much about the weight that I'm pushing, but I'm getting more reps with a moderate amount of weight. So you're still training, you're still tearing your muscle fibers. You want to still do that. You don't want to give up your training and only do cardio. Another thing, guys, I recommend you get a sweater. Some of you see my Instagram videos. Sweaters are awesome. Put the sweater on, put the hood up over your head, tie it up so you're not getting any cool air down there, and sweat while you're doing your cardio. Sweat. Make sure you push yourself until you are drenched. Okay? So what you're going to notice, and what you've probably already noticed by now, is that this is not an easy fix. This is not something that you're going to pop a pill and be all good, or inject something in your arm and be all good. This is something where you need to apply yourself. You need to invest in this process. Another thing that I'll tell you, you want to weigh yourself every day in the morning. As soon as you get up, use the bathroom, do your bio, whatever you got to do, use the bathroom, get everything out of your system, and then weigh yourself with no clothes on. You got to do this naked to get the most accurate results. Okay? And what you're going to notice, and I don't want you to be discouraged by this, what you're going to notice is that your weight may go up. There may be days when you wake up, you pee or do whatever you got to do, you step on the scale and your weight goes down. And you might be, Next day you get on there after you eat good or the same or even better, you get on the scale and it goes up by like a pound or two. Don't let that get to you, because I want you to know, guys, that my weight loss went like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to go up. It's going to go down. Do not let that be something that, obviously let it be a motivating factor, and it is naturally whenever you lose weight, but don't let that be the thing that dictates your resolve, right? Just use that as a marker to see what your body's doing. Obviously, if your weight just keeps on going up and you don't see any down, then you have to consider your caloric intake or upping your cardio. Okay, but I'm just saying, when you weigh yourself, what you're gonna see, and it sucks because I got discouraged. And some days I got so pissed off that I didn't even record my weight. Make sure you record it, because it just doesn't look good, because the weight was going up and it goes down and it goes up again higher. Like, just know that you're gonna go through a period. Your body's gonna go through a period where it's going up and down, but you will see that dip. You will see that dip. Trust me. There's gonna come a point when your body is starting to, get used to it. It's going to get used to being that caloric deficit, and the weight will drop. Believe me, stick to it. Okay. The mentality that you have to have is one where you are determined. You're ready to change your lifestyle. You're ready to stop eating whenever you're tempted. You're ready to, take this as a discipline and say, you know what, I'm fasting right now, therefore I will drink water, I will drink my coffee, and when I eat, I'm going to eat good. You know what I'm saying? Like, just close your window the better you get. After the first week of fasting, you're going to just be like, yo, I can't do this. But your body will get used to it. And when you see the results, you guys will not regret this. Now, I don't know how long I'm going to do intermittent fasting, but I'm going to do it pretty much until I hit a plateau. Right now, I'm still losing weight. My goal is 205, 200, and right now I'm hitting 211.4. So I'm going to keep on doing this. Just know that, like I said, this is not an easy fix. This is something that requires you to work hard. This is 10 pounds. I've never lost 10 pounds in the period of a month. Like, this is something that you have to be ready to do. You have to be ready to see results, ready to work hard. Okay, so on the next screen, guys, what I'll do, I'll actually in sequence, in a nice organized fashion, so you guys can either take a screenshot or write down for yourself. I'll pretty much put on the screen what I said in this. How long is this? 18 minutes here. Sorry about that, guys. 18-minute period of time. Okay, whatever you do, guys, just make sure to keep your priorities straight. Have a good day.
I won't break free, just like